It is March 4th. I'm gonna do a little shed hunt. It's kind of cold today, but I came out here to the scrapyard to get me a new bumper since I tore my other one up at when I was down in Georgia hog hunting. But once I get everything done and out of here, I'm gonna hit some public land down the road and see if I can find an antler or two. Well, we got about an hour and a half of daylight left. Wish I could have got out here earlier, but I had to go get that bumper taken care of, and then of course I had to poke around to look at other stuff. Fun fact for today, March 4th, it's 9 years ago I started my YouTube channel. And another fun fact to go with that is I had never been deer or turkey hunting when I started my channel. Now, I had just got an interest in it, and I've been shed hunting some, and of course I've been fishing a lot longer, so I started it as kind of an outdoor related channel. For those of y'all who have been watching for that long, thank you for sticking with me. For those of you who haven't, it's okay, you're not missing much. Started out just like anybody else, you know, just filming stuff. Always took a camera with me to the woods, and still do. That's what I'm doing today. It's going to be pretty simple. We're looking for sheds. Now, a little bit about this spot. It hasn't been bush hogged this year. It's kind of a pain to get back here with all the tall grass and briars and this invasive called Cerisa lespedisa that is kind of hard to walk through. So they didn't bush hog it. I think that has kept some of the hunting pressure out of here this past deer season. So I'm going to be heading back towards the back by this creek and then shed hunting mostly around the creek bottom. Past couple of turkey seasons, I found sheds back in this creek bottom. Actually, one of them was halfway up a ridge on a deer trail. We're going to be focusing along the creek. I think that's where the bucks will be hanging out. I think that's where a lot of deer in general hang out. Anyway, we're going to head on down, and I'll see you in the creek bottom. So there's two separate creek bottoms. One of them's pretty good size. The other one is this little bottom that I'm heading into now. They're separated by a rock wall bluff, which is kind of behind me. It's not a real tall bluff, but it's a rock wall. I don't really have time to thoroughly search the bigger creek bottom, so that's why I'm heading into the smaller one here. There's bucks all up in here, there's deer all up in here. Once the season closes, they kind of get back to their usual patterns. I feel pretty safe in here. Let's start looking here. Wouldn't be surprised if we run into some turkeys. Shed hunting tip of the day, and I'll repeat this one every now and again, but you're not looking for a whole shed, you're looking for just a little bit or piece of an antler. A lot of times, especially from a distance, you might see one tine, you might see the curve of a main beam. If you're lucky, you might see a shiny white pedicle, but other thing is they'll often be 2 feet in front of you before you even see them. So cover ground, that's my other tip. Here's a plant you may come across that deer absolutely love. That's growing up all these trees around me. It's called winter creeper, and it grows on the ground too. It's a creeping plant. It's a vine, but it creeps on the ground and goes up trees and everything. But notice on the ground it's kept real short. Look really closely here. All the ends are eaten off. There's all these ends with no leaves on them. The deer browse on this very heavily, and notice on the trees there's no leaves from about here down on every single tree that's got the vine growing up it. The deer browse, that's called a browse line, and typically a browse line is when the deer are overpopulated and everything is browsed to a certain level. But with this plant in particular, the deer really like it, so they will browse every tree up to about here as high as they can reach. That's something to keep in mind if you're hunting green food sources for deer. That's something they will tear up. And it's hard to kill, it grows forever, so the deer aren't gonna kill it out. They're just gonna keep it eaten down good. They're all over this ridge. Uh-oh. Jake. Probably. Big old flock of hens. Hens, Jakes, and Jennies is what it is. This place is loaded with turkeys, but it's one of the places that doesn't take much hunting pressure to start pushing them off onto private land all around. And so hunting here can get pretty tough, but I have killed a bunch of gobblers out here over the past few years. And I always give it a go early season. I'm usually out here somewhere opening weekend. I also run into other hunters out here more often than other places, so just one of those spots. People come here because it's got the birds, but then they hit it hard and the birds kind of scatter, and then you really got to work to find a gobbler that'll work your call. And normally I'd be going to the top of the ridge because oftentimes bucks like to bed up on top of a ridge, especially if the wind is in their favor, where they can keep the wind behind them and overlook everything below them. Ridge tops can be great places to find sheds, but in this instance the property line cuts me off, so I'm going to start working my way back towards the truck, keeping both eyes open, looking for sheds. Looking close, all I see is turkey scratch. All I can think about is turkey hunting, but probably won't find anything on the way back, but you never know. Last time I thought I wasn't going to find anything, I looked down and there's an antler, so that's the fun part of shed hunting. You never know.